of course, we first go to Molineux, and Wolves sacked manager Mick McCarthy after a run of poor results. The latest yesterday against rivals West Bromwich Albion, which saw them drop back into the relegation zone. Reporter Michael Sibbett has been following developments throughout the day and joins us live. Michael, what is the latest there?
Well, the latest, Steve, is that Mick McCarthy has left the ground here, perhaps for the final time, 5.5 years after taking the job. And in that time, he's led them into the Premier League. He's kept them there for a couple of seasons. But when he did leave the ground here just over an hour ago, I did manage to have a quick chat with him. He said he wasn't going to make a statement on camera, but he did release a few words through the club. This is what he had to say. He said, "I really feel it is a privilege to have managed such a great club, and I've had the best of times. I want to send my best wishes to everybody, and also to the new guy who comes in, and to everybody, please stay up." Well, this season's performances have been poor, to say the least. They're in the bottom three with only 14 points picked up from the past 22 games. So when I spoke to quite a few of the fans that were around here earlier, they thought that if the club weren't going to stick with Mick McCarthy, that they should have sacked him a few weeks ago to give a new manager a chance to use the transfer window. That's a point that I put to the chief executive here, Jez Moxey, a little earlier.
Mick McCarthy deserved our backing for what he's done. We believed in him. You back a manager until the moment you think you can no longer back him, and he deserved our support, we believe. And with 13 games to go, we think there's still enough time to retrieve it. You only need a couple of wins, and before you know it, you're moving the right way.
Well, Mick McCarthy has had lots of support today from inside the club, including midfielder Jamie O'Hara, who he bought to Wolves from Spurs, gave him a chance in the first team. He's been tweeting this afternoon. He said, "Gutted to see Mick go, done an amazing job here, and everyone should be thankful for what he's done. Thank him so much for giving me the chance. Just sorry we couldn't have done better for him. Fantastic manager and man, and wish him all the best." Well, as messages from inside the club, there's also been some reaction from some of his rivals, including Chris Hughton, the manager of Birmingham. This is what he had to say a little earlier.
I feel very much for Mick. He's a good friend. I've known Mick a long time, not only in his managerial career, but even more so in his player career. I was able to play with him for many years with the Republic of Ireland, and he's a top individual. He's done a wonderful job at the football club, and certainly my thoughts are very much with him at the moment.
Well, as for the future, when I spoke to Jez Moxey a little earlier, he said he wants a new manager installed before the next Premier League game. That's against Newcastle in 2 weeks' time. Who could that guy be? Well, according to the bookmakers, Neil Warnock, former QPR manager, just left his job. He's the favourite at 4-1. An interesting name next, Rafa Benitez, former Liverpool manager. He's at 13-2, as well with Steve Bruce, of course, former Birmingham and Sunderland manager. Outside chance could be former Nottingham Forest manager Billy Davis. He's at 12-1. For Mick McCarthy, though, his future could be at Leeds United, according to bookmakers. It's been a tough day here, but for Wolves there's no option about whether they want to stay in the Premier League, and that's probably why the bosses here have decided to make a change.
Michael, thank you very much, and don't worry, that wasn't Michael getting too emotional about the situation. I think it was a bit of a problem with the sound. So Wolves are looking